Hey everyone.
Hey
It's
y'all.
Saturday. Come on here.
Yes, it's Saturday night. Y'all know us ladies, we got the real talk.
Come kick it with us.
Yes.
Girl, stop acting innocent. They can't even hear you.
I'm sorry. I was a little boy.
Come kick it with us, y'all.
Yes, come on in the room. We are definitely talking about something very serious tonight.
As y'all can see, I did it a little different today. It is on our post. Usually we don't post what we're talking about, but it is in our post. And tonight it's going to get a little sensitive, so we understand everybody may need their tissue or may just need to vent or breathe. This is a judgment-free zone and it's a safe space. So please do not get on here acting like you better than the next or you ain't been through something. We don't do that, baby. We really wrong. Okay?
Definitely.
So tonight's topic, we're just going to go ahead and get into it, y'all. We're not even going to waste no time. So tonight, if you want to go ahead and let them know tonight's topic, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it.
Excuse me. Tonight's show, we're going to talk about our youth. It's a lot going on in the world, so we're going to touch base on a lot of the topics that need to be discussed in regards to our youth. So, of course, this is a sensitive topic. We just ask that everyone remain respectful. Please, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And this, of course, is a judgment-free zone. No negativity is allowed.
Yes,
You want to start with the first question?
And before we start, y'all know we've been in the background doing our thing. Raw is always working. But don't get it twisted because we can't just jump on here and not get them, you know what I'm saying, our regular.
Right,
You alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, okay.
Tonight, you know
So
what?
y'all already know what it is. It's a platform for men and women to come together where we always keep it really raw, baby.
As I just stated a few moments ago, this is a judgment-free zone. No judgment or negativity is allowed. If you see it, should be deleted and blocked.
Yes, and here on Kicking It Around every other side, like tonight, we will always talk about topics that are relatable to the world, to us, to, everyone. Whether it is child molestation, politics.
We're not laughing at what she's saying. We're laughing at how she's saying it.
But anyway, we always talk about real things and things that, can bother someone or whatever the case may be.
So I'm gonna take over for her real quick. So basically, we talk about different topics here. If y'all been rocking with us since August of 2020.
Yeah.
We've been our podcast has been a blessing. We definitely do healing here.
Yes.
We just want a platform where everybody can feel safe and secure and no judgment. Everybody can feel comfortable. We are 85 shows in, baby.
What is 86
Yeah.
86
We 85 shows in. So y'all are if y'all are new, go find us on YouTube or kickingtheraw.com. But we definitely want to go ahead and get started. I don't know who on here, but we love y'all.
Hey. Let's see who on here.
Hey, y'all, love you, baby. All right, so let's not keep them waiting. Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. So the first question tonight is: at what age do you speak to children about sex, abuse, bullying, and molestation? I'll read that one more time. At what age do you speak to children about sex, abuse, bullying, and molestation?
Yes, so I'll go first because I am the only mother on this podcast. So for me, I think that you should start early. You should start as early as the children can start walking. Of course, when we are speaking to our babies, we want to speak to them on their level. So you want to announce once they are able to. Well, I have 2 boys, so my little boys, they start noticing their stuff, their little pee-pee or whatever you want to call it down there. You want to go ahead and start teaching them cues and things on their level, what they should notice of what's not acceptable if someone come and, touch them wrong or say something wrong to them. It's very important that you start training them early so they can be aware.
I agree
with that.
Because let's be honest, most of the time when molestation or things happen to our kids, it's due to someone close to us, family, friend, So I think that you should start as early as the child starts not developing, but noticing their body parts. And kids
Becoming curious
yeah,
about
kids notice that very early.
So can you read that question for the ones who's just joining us? Hey, we love y'all.
Yeah, so the first question is, at what age do you speak to children about sex, abuse, bullying, and molestation?
And so I will go ahead and speak on this real quick. I'm not a parent yet as of now, but I definitely would say, just having all my lovely nieces and nephews, I definitely would say I will leave that up to their parents first, because I don't want to like open that door or trigger something or start something that's out of my place. So boundaries, yeah, y'all, boundaries. But I definitely would say for me around age 8 and up, because kids in this generation are learning things so fast and so quickly, and if you don't teach them to watch out for these signs or protect themselves, anybody can really like take advantage of them.
Right.
So I would definitely say age 8 and up, start talking to your kids about sex and molestation and abuse and things like that, and definitely pay attention to your kids. Take the time out to hear them out, and really listen and look at the signs. So much is going on in the youth nowadays, and nobody's actually listening to them and hearing them out. It's actually very hurtful, and it's very sad. And I know when I was coming up, I had great parents, but honestly, I still, at an older age, I still like wanted like that certain thing. So I can only imagine a kid, these youth, the minor, wanting all of that. So pay attention to the signs. Aunts and uncles, y'all need to be on y'all too. Definitely grandparents, like y'all need to just pay attention. Shana, how you feel? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. In today's society, they have so much technology and things that go on that they have easy access to everything. So it's very important that you, as a parent, not only be a parent but be a friend as well. Know how to balance that to where your child can come and speak with you and be open with you.
I think that's very important.
I feel like a lot of times I see a lot of parents, the child gets in trouble and the first thing you do is you run to, oh, you did this, you did that, but you're not listening to the child side. Okay, you listen to the teachers or administrative side or whatever the case may be, but you also need to take in consideration of what your child is saying. That's really big and important. That also builds trust and rapport with you and your child. So taking all those necessary steps is definitely important. Now, I know that you said that you'll start at 8. Do you not think in today's society it would be wise to start much younger? Because people
I can't say
yet
because, like I just said, I can't overstep those boundaries. I'm not a parent. Just as an aunt, I would wait. As an aunt, no, I'm not having that conversation. I'll leave that up to their parents. But I said from 8 and up, as far as talking about sex, as far as watching who's around you, what signs, who's touching you. Like, just as an aunt, 8 and up, I would feel comfortable talking to my niece or nephew. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But as a parent, I feel like if y'all feel like y'all should start earlier than that, I definitely understand.
Okay. So, I'm going to read that question one more time. The first question tonight is, at what age do you speak to children about sex, abuse, bullying, and molestation? I personally feel like the younger the better. Of course, like Ms. Danielle said, and speak to them in a way that they can understand, but also educate them, the correct terms for their body parts. Right. I remember maybe a year ago or something, there was an article that I seen on Facebook where this little girl said, someone touched my cookies. Someone took my cookies. Mm-hmm. And she told her teacher that, but the teacher was like, who took your cookies? Someone took your cookies. Like, you're talking about the cookies you eat. But she wasn't referring to that. She was referring to, her personal area. Right. And I think it's very important to teach kids, okay, this is your penis, this is your vagina, so they can say, someone touched me this place, so it's not overlooked.
Oh, they're lying, or it's misconstrued, or it's confusion. Right. And I think a lot of parents, don't get it wrong, we love, truly how y'all choose or whatever y'all path y'all choose for your children.
Right.
But I also think it has a lot to do with not wanting to teach your kids those bad words so young.
I don't feel like it's a bad word,
Well, you
though.
know, well,
No,
But
you know,
they
don't,
treat
but
it
some-
like it's
Well,
I
I
mean,
feel like
as
certain words.
as a parent, I don't say penis to my son.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
it is
Shania, like you don't want
in
your
my eyes
kids
it's like
saying.
explicit, but you know, he knows nuts, and you know, as he grow older, we get more to the term, you know. So I say winky or something, but nuts is nuts.
Well,
You know,
and at some point he's gonna know that
right.
is his, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I said age 8.
Yeah.
That's when you can start using those words to me.
But I will say that, you know, I respect that.
No,
I respect, you know,
I understand
parents,
what you're saying.
you know, like I'm
Hey
not a
y'all,
mom,
thank y'all for
but
joining
some
us.
parents may feel like, okay, your winky woo, your cookies, your pocketbook, you know, whatever. But I feel like me personally, like if I would have had those particular words, I would have been able to vocalize or share if something was wrong.
Love that,
I
love
agree.
that.
And I agree, and a lot of parents feel the way you do. You just use the terminology, period. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. It's just that I just don't even like using the word myself.
Well,
but,
no,
but I understand.
But you know
using
what?
that terminology.
That's
is
where
fine.
we have to break that stigmatism,
Right.
that way of, I mean, anybody can parent how they want to.
Right.
But I think it's important to kind of break that uncomfortableness because
Yeah.
there are so many kids going through things and they don't even know how to vocalize
Right.
it. And like I just stated with the story, the little girl said something about her cookies. She could have been taken out that situation a lot sooner had she known or had the teacher paid more attention.
And like you said,
And you know, we love y'all so much. Hey y'all.
Hey.
We love y'all. We're gonna get to the comments in a second. We ain't gonna keep going. But what I wanna say is parents, you know, just pay attention to your child. A lot of people say pay attention to the signs. Well, what if there are no signs? Have y'all ever thought about that? Because people like, there's always a sign, there's always a sign. Some kids
always
are
a
very
sign.
quiet.
In
Some
their
kids are
behavior or something.
standoffish. Like, that's just
But that's
them.
a sign. You know,
Well,
if you as a parent know your child and you actually pay attention to
I
your
can't
child,
speak on it. I'm not a
Well,
parent. But I'm just saying.
for me,
yeah.
who's a parent, I know my son. And
Hey,
if you
Darnell,
are
she
paying-
said, I made it,
Hey,
guys.
girl. I pay attention to my child. So if you're a parent that truly pays attention to your child, you will notice some changes. Even if, you know,
I have
like,
something to say
feel
because
like
I don't want to go too deep.
even standoffish or being in the corner. Or
No,
quiet,
you're not wrong.
anything
You're not
is
wrong
a
at all.
sign.
You're
I don't
not
feel
wrong.
like,
But
hold on,
as
wait.
parents, do we miss things? I'm not a parent yet,
No,
but
sometimes
yes,
we can.
parents
Yes,
miss things.
yes, we can. You might not notice it right
Well,
away.
you don't
I
want to.
feel
You don't
like-
want to set yourself up to feel like, as a parent, I know it all. I know it all. I see
No,
it all. I see
right.
it all. Wait. I'm not done. I'm not done. I see it all. I see it all. I know it all. I know it all. And then something does happen, and you feel like a failure. You're not a failure.
Well,
You just didn't see that particular sign. So I just want to put it out there too. Don't go for the sign. Pay attention to your child. That's what I'm saying.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Pay attention
It
to
can
your
be
child.
the simplest thing, and I'm gonna just be honest. It can be very simple. It can be from your child going to, you know, from outgoing and bubbly to being more reserved. And a lot of people are like, oh, they're going through a phase.
Yeah.
But they're and let me say this: as parents, parenting is not easy. Okay, I'm not a parent, but I'm around a lot of parents. Okay, parenting is not easy, and of course, everything cannot be caught. So if something does transpire, it is not solely, you know, you shouldn't feel as if it's your fault, like you're just a failure. Like Miss Tamika said, it's not the case. You know, a lot of times, like I said, sometimes
Well,
kids
some
are
of these
able.
parents, it is their fault. So let's just go ahead and be honest. Okay.
Okay, that's
Let's be honest.
I mean, you can say that, but some parents aren't. You know, it's not their
Aware.
fault, or they're not aware
Some
of what
parents,
happened.
and some parents are also in denial. But we're not going to go there.
That's a whole nother topic.
Definitely
right there.
so. And some parents know and just choose not to say anything because they
Right.
probably have went through a traumatic experience with, molestation or bullying or whatever the case may be. And, honestly, we're kind of focusing on the sex aspect of the molestation part about this, but the bullying is very real nowadays.
Yeah, that's like, and bullying too. No, but bullying goes well with the molestation and the sex.
It does.
Because so many of those signs and symptoms that your kid or child can exhibit can be similar in all the situations.
Right.
I ask my son every day, did anyone hear him say anything bad? That goes for teachers and etc. I want to know. Because I'm going to address it right away.
I say pay attention to your child all the way around, not just the signs. And what we are speaking on is not just molestation. We're talking about sex. If they're sexually active, if they're thinking about sex, if they're bullying, during the bullying, or if someone is bullying them, just pay
abusing
attention.
or anything like that. It's a lot of different signs that can be seen.
Yes.
It's a lot of different things that can be said. And some stuff you just have to look and see with your 2 eyes. It's not really, sometimes the kids don't say anything.
I was about to say, it's not
Right,
always a sign, just pay attention. So we got comments coming in. We're going to go ahead and start with D. Barlow. Everybody say hey to Miss D.
Hey,
Miss D is in the comments. So she said, I'm not a parent yet, but with everything going on in the world and what children are exposed to now, I would start talking to my child about abuse, molestation, and bullying as young as possible, around age 3 or 4. As far as sex, I think 12 years of age.
Okay.
Miss Renee said, hey family, love y'all. We love you too. She said, I pay close attention if something different. If something is different, I ask questions.
Right.
And she also said some parents just don't take time to listen to their kids, sit down and explain stuff to their kids. She also stated bullying is a big issue that goes unaddressed. Miss D, you said it right. Okay.
And, I mean, if y'all have boys, I don't really know about little girls because I don't have girls, but little boys, it's really hard to get stuff out of them. So I have to continually ask Antonio when I'm talking to him. And I have noticed if he's like quiet or, something's going on. Even if he's not telling me right away, I notice and I continue to, ask to. And
Do you
eventually
feel like
he tells
you
me
have to
because
figure
he's
out a way
comfortable.
to approach
Well, I
him?
think now, he just comes out to tell me stuff because we have that relationship.
That's a good
That
thing.
and I'm
That's a
glad
good
because
thing.
as a parent, I always wanted to make sure that I established that. So clearly, I did something right. And I hope it continues as teenage years.
Right.
But he'll pretty much say it now, which I'm happy.
So that was a good first question. We love y'all. Hey,
Yeah.
thank y'all for tuning in. I think Patty just joined y'all. Hey, Danielle.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and roll into the second question of the night.
All right. So the second question of the night is, how do you have these talks or open up the floor for the child or children to feel comfortable? And is it uncomfortable for you as a parent or guardian?
I'm gonna start this one real quick because my answer is short.
Go ahead.
I think this is more for a parent. But as an aunt, I would feel uncomfortable, just me in general, talking to my nieces and nephews about that, especially first. I would want their parents to talk to them about it first. Now, as far as the molestation and bullying, I think I could just handle that like, hey, has anybody been touching you? Are you safe? Do you feel safe? Are you bullying? Who's bullying you? Like those conversations I'm good with. The sex part, not so much as an aunt because I feel like, that's a lot. And I want your parents, I want your parents to handle that first. But for me,
So what if the parents said,
Pay to the aunt.
Tamika, can you handle this conversation?
I would honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I would honestly be very nervous.
Why?
And I wouldn't know how to approach it. Because I feel
But how
like
do you
it's,
think a parent feels?
because I feel like it's your babies. And
Right.
it's like,
Okay, so how about this? Would you look at it like, I mean, this is how me personally I would look at it. I would look at it as like, how would I have wanted someone to talk to me about it?
right.
And that's just,
Yeah,
that's
and
just
I'm gonna be honest, like, I know at a certain age, I wanted certain things, so we can only imagine what these babies want, what the youth want. And I feel like at some point we have to stop looking at it from one perspective, like Shania just said, and we really need to think of which way to approach these things. Sex is not easy to talk to the youth about. Molestation, somebody touching them is not easy. Bullying, whether they're doing the bullying or somebody is bullying them. abused? Is somebody, beating on them? Is somebody abusing them? Not physically only, in any type of way, verbally, emotionally, like these things are deep. But did you want to answer this before?
Yeah, I can go real quick. I respect everything you just said, and I think also one of the reasons why a lot happens with kids is because the conversations are so uncomfortable that the parents or people in their lives don't want to have those conversations. Mm-hmm. So if and I respect what you said, of course, but sometimes,
Oh no, I was saying for me as
no. I'm saying a lot of people may feel that way. A lot of aunts and uncles may feel that way, but the reality of the situation is what if the parents aren't having that conversation? What if they never have the conversation with the kids?
Oh yes, I love that, the aunts and uncles and whoever else.
I feel like today's generation is a lot different from back in the day where it was a village.
Right.
It was a village. There was your next door neighbor's like, don't. Who's that?
Right.
You're not supposed to go with that man. Who is that? No, she's coming in the house with me.
Yes,
it was
everything.
Keep your legs crossed. Don't let nobody go touch
your skirt down.
Yeah. Times are definitely different than they were.
Don't go out here bullying people or putting your hands on people.
Right.
Act like you got some home training, like everything was like a family. But let's be honest, it's not like that now.
Because
if you check somebody's child, they literally was trying to like attack you.
Right.
Yeah. So
I think there should be a lot more villages, in my opinion. And I definitely feel like
I think the villages need to come back heavy. Are you okay, Miss Danielle, on this live? Because we real and raw. Are you okay? Ask her, y'all. Are you okay with somebody checking your child, or as a parent, is that a no?
It's a yes and a no.
Okay. I can respect that.
It depends on who's checking my child. If this is a complete stranger to my child, I'd prefer you not to check my child.
And see, she just answered why the village has been canceled. Okay?
Well,
she is the one. I'm just joking.
Let me explain why. Because first of all, you're a stranger. Not only are you a stranger to my child, but I don't know what kind of checking you may do. I don't know if you might be aggressive.
Oh no, we were talking about like that real love.
No, I'm saying
now if you doing that rah-rah,
I mean, if you at Walmart and somebody's like, "Hey, little boy," that's different because that's a random stranger.
Exactly. But what if that random stranger that's your kid doing
no, she said if it's someone she doesn't.
If someone did that, like, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, boy, sit down." I wouldn't get mad at that.
So what would you get mad at?
It's levels.
Yeah, it's levels, and I feel like each situation is different depending on who it is, what's going on.
But back then you excuse my language, you got an ass whooping in school. Back then you got an ass whooping by Miss Brown up the street. You got jerked up by Uncle Rock on the block.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
it was a family. Like, it was a family.
Which is lovely. But at the same time, I feel like it was a lot of abuse then too, because everybody is drinking up the kids. So I think it was just like, you know.
And then also back in the day too, it was a lot of you fought, you just got your butt whooped. You didn't go back up there and whip that boy's tail.
Exactly.
It was a lot of that too. So I don't know.
You couldn't lose a fight, because if you came home and you lost the fight, you got your ass whooped by your parents, and then you had to go back out.
So I wouldn't agree with everyone checking my children.
I definitely understand, but I do want you to answer this question before we get to the comments.
Oh, okay.
So could you go over that question from Ms. Danielle?
So the second question of the night was, how do you have these talks or open up the floor for the child and children to feel comfortable? And is it uncomfortable for you as a parent or guardian?
So I feel like for me,
before you start, we're talking about the sex, abuse, bullying, all that.
Right.
Hey girl, you look good.
Okay. Anyway, I feel like for me, that makes me laugh trying to answer.
Okay.
I feel like for me, with the relationship that me and my oldest son have right now, I feel like I was.
Could you announce to everybody how old your oldest son is?
Yes, he is 8, about to turn 9.
Okay, she got stuck. See, she getting older. She forgot.
For the other day, I thought he was still 7. Anyway. So yes, the relationship that we have now is very is very open. He
Mhm.
comes to me and tells me everything. I feel like I developed that because I would sit down.
Mhm.
I would be real mellow because I know well my dad he was the Punisher, so he was very
There was no
stern
mellow with
and
him.
rah rah, so it was no mellow. So I would be very mellow. I would like ease in and just so how was this and blah blah blah. And I felt like I gave him the warmth and comfort to open up and to just come out and tell me stuff.
Mhm.
So I feel like by me, and also we talk through stuff. We apologize to each other and all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like that allowed him to like, okay, I can just go and tell mommy whatever. And even if he does do something, I do talk to him about it, and I let him know if that's right or wrong, and if he's going to get in trouble or not, and we just keep it moving. But I still am mellow, with it.
I definitely understand what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I just want to touch.
And I just
on
want to
that.
say, I would like to give a round of applause to Miss Danielle.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, no, the reason why I'm clapping is because, just hearing that she actually can talk with her child without demanding things all the time, without yelling, without throwing in the title that I'm the parent. Because I know a lot of times, at the end of the day, stay at a child's place, you know what I'm saying? Stay out of grown folks' business. All that stuff is thrown around, but some of these conversations these kids do need to be in. And I feel like if we learn how to properly communicate, or if we were taught that, we are raising young queens and kings to be able to grow up and properly communicate and show their emotions and express themselves in a different view. So shout out to you, Miss Danielle.
He just told me, y'all, yesterday that when he was in kindergarten, he used to take his notes and hide them in the child care he went to. And I'm like, what his bad notes?
Well,
and I'm like, how many
confessed
notes
after 8 years.
But he likes to confess stuff out the blue. And I'm like, boy.
I love your actual response though.
But it's nothing wrong with also telling your child that you're the parent. But I think you should just explain the situation on what it is and how it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
you should
everything
definitely
you just said.
Yes, I'm the parent and blah 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 this and that, but this is why this has to be that. So, because kids these days want to know why this and why that, and
They're very,
and etc. And
exactly, Renee. People do not understand. Like, look at us. We all are emotional creatures.
Right.
We ball things up and then we snap. We don't know how to talk to people. We don't know how to communicate. It's bad.
Yeah.
But where do we learn this from? It starts in the home. If the parent is not setting that foundation to properly communicate and express themselves, y'all know when we get angry, right, and we just go off the rim,
right?
That's not normal. Y'all do know that, right? Or when you're communicating with your family member or your mate and you're rah rah rah, that's not normal. Everybody should be able to communicate at a certain level where respect is given both ways. And I think it starts, as we continue to get older and how we're taught and what we're taught. But let's be honest, a lot of us weren't taught, we barely could talk. Let's be honest. We barely could talk. You better be quiet.
And I would say, parenting, like Miss Shania, Miss Tamika said, it's not easy. We get stressed out. Yes, I sometimes be like, boy, you about to make me hurt you. But it's like, we have to regroup.
That don't mean that I still won't hurt you.
Right.
But you know what?
I've been threatening them a lot more lately.
But you know what's crazy? A lot of parents will, like we said, the signs will take that child's behavior of them acting up and just choose to discipline them instead of talking to them or get into the root as to why they're acting
right.
up.
But a lot of people who do that,
you should be talking and you should be disciplining.
Yeah, and disciplining does not always have to be physical.
Right.
But do I agree with physical? Yes, because some children learn differently, and I feel like if you yell, they're not gonna get it. But if you tap that, they're gonna be like, all right, I know not to play with mommy or daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it really depends. And I also feel like the people who constantly go to abuse first, to a child, that you endured that. And as I grew up, I was like, that's abuse. Like a lot of the things that I went through when it came to getting in trouble, getting in trouble. I'm like, that's not normal. That's abuse.
Right.
So if I was to sit down and be like, you know what, that was abuse, what you did to me, it'll be like, huh? What? When in reality, we have to wake up and realize that a lot of this stuff is abuse, physically,
Right.
emotionally, and mentally, and verbally. You're out here abusing. So watch what you're saying to your kids around them, and let's try to do better as a whole. But your answer was amazing. Let's get to the comments, y'all. Let's
Now,
get to
did you have something?
Oh no, she had answered. Remember?
No, I'm gonna save my response. I
Okay.
was gonna say for the last question, but let's get into the comments.
I think it started at
So we have
Danielle.
Yeah.
Danielle said, "Hey,
Hey.
Miss Renee said, "As the parent, you need to have a relationship with your child so that they will be able to come to you and talk to you about any
Exactly.
situation that they are going through."
That's true.
Ms. Darnita said, "My son is now open to asking more questions, and I tell him. His dad and I have different points of view of what we tell him, but he is 15 and hears things at school. So my son and I have open communication."
Yes,
I
and that
love
is
that.
huge,
I
Darnita,
love
because
that.
since my son been in school, like he has been exposed to so much this year, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. You know, as a parent, you like, you know, so that's definitely important. It is.
Okay, let's see. Miss Renee said, "As an aunt and a great aunt, my nieces come to me and tell me anything. I always let them know I'm available to talk to them about any and everything, really with life, school, etc."
Yes, that's important.
All right, and Miss D said, "Yes, Shania. Everything for these kids are so different. They don't have the same upbringing that our generation had. Yes, it's totally different. They do not have the same, and that is the problem."
Because how I was raised is somewhat different than how I raised my boys. Like still the respect level and everything,
It's
but
just
like
different.
Yeah. A lot of parents today, or not parents, are not parents. They're more of their kids' friend. You're
You
right.
can say that again.
And but I'm gonna be honest. I had the best of both worlds. I had a strict parent, and then I had a parent that was my friend.
Right.
So I was able to, get both.
But you also had a two-parent household.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the difference.
Mhm.
A lot of people.
So
tell me that.
a lot of parents
people tell me
now
that.
are dealing with single parent, broken homes.
They're stressed out.
They're stressed out.
So
They're
they overworked,
overworked.
the
They're
burden
tired.
of the child, so they want to just be okay. Well, they're not
You're
paying
right,
attention
you're
to
right.
their kids.
And then they wonder why the kids
She
don't come.
also said, excuse me, Miss D said, "I agree with Danielle. If you're not close to me, you cannot check my child. You can let me know, and unless given permission, you are not allowed to lay hands on them."
Period.
Okay? And she said what she said.
And like I said, it's because a lot of people punish and act out differently, and
Definitely.
you don't want anybody harming your child,
Mhm.
and that's what I think about. So
Okay.
just.
No, I
But if
definitely understand
if
that.
the person, if he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing, and somebody
Get his
might say,
mom.
"Look,
Tell his
boy,"
mom.
then that's fine.
Where's your mom?
Right.
Darnina said, "I do moments of truth. In our moments of truth, anything they say cannot get them in trouble. It's open." I love that. She said it's open. Now, if they do something, then they have to come and tell me and we talk. Now, they will still have consequences, but it's more talking. At least I tried.
That's
Come
amazing.
on.
That's-
Come on, baby.
I love it.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And the key word, you try, girl, and I know you try your best.
All right. Miss Danielle.
Renee said, actually, believe that the parents, whatever you do in front of your child said it is okay for them to do it too. So some point in life, you have to sit down with them and talk to them and let them know what mommy and daddy do, is that okay for you to go out here and do?
Right.
Which is true, because kids do exactly what they see their parents do. I see Tonya and them mimic a lot of stuff, or
Yeah, they
that I-
definitely want to.
yeah,
That you are who they look up to.
Right.
So
but one thing you can't do that we learned this coming up, you can't preach something to your kids or children that you're preaching to, and then you're doing it, because that's
like
just
you
not,
can't tell your son to not sell drugs, but you're on the corner every day.
right.
You can't tell
Exactly.
your daughter not to get on a pole, but you strip for a living. It doesn't work like that, because
Right.
they literally look up to you. You are the first. Better say it. Better say it.
That's true. Like like you can't. No, but that's true. You can't. The point is that you can't tell your kids to do something. Don't do.
You can't go out here. No, you can't go out here and drink cold brews six bottles a day, and then tell your child.
They know the alcohol is good.
Yes, but
you
they
know
know
what
alcohol.
they say when
You
they
can't
get
go
up
out
there?
here.
They say, well, just don't be like me. But that's
Wait,
But
what
they
do you
want
mean? What's
to
the
be like
opposite
you.
of you? Because we're only seeing.
No, but every child wants to be like their parent,
So
their dad, their
let's
mom.
let's really talk about it. Like, for instance, if a child is sees their mother go through domestic violence or their father go through domestic violence,
Right.
I don't know the exact statistics, but I'll say 5 out of 10 are more likely to grow up and do the same thing to their significant other.
Right.
So it's like,
and it's so bad. You know what I'm saying?
it really
Like,
is.
Either
what
they're
we're
going to go
saying
through it or they're going to do it.
They're gonna allow it, or they're
So
going
what
to
we're
do it.
saying is it's a lead, baby, lead. Miss Renee, she said the main thing is communication, and baby, a lot of us is lacking it. Okay, and it's time to heal and do better. Our parents get a whooping, and then our parents say, "Keep crying, I'll give you something to cry about."
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you,
That's
you know,
classic.
when I used to
That's
cry.
definitely a classic.
When I used to continue to cry, I actually got what I was asking for. So, you know, I'm just saying they don't have to deal with that now, Darnita. But you know, back then we had a
But
a lot.
sometimes they cry a little too much. Okay? And, you know,
But it's
like-
whooping your kid because they crying.
I'm not
Okay,
saying you have to whoop
that's
them.
abuse.
That's a natural
That's
reaction
abuse.
to. Okay, so let's put it like this: if you get cut, it's gonna hurt, right? You gonna cry. You like, ouch, that hurts, right? So if we whipping our kids and they're crying, I mean, they're crying because that hurt, and their feelings are hurt.
Well, I used to just be quiet after the first.
You was crying.
You know, cry and then I'm quiet because I'm not trying to get another whoop.
Okay, all right. So, Miss D, communication is something that needs to be taught more, especially to children. So why? We can grow up as adults and know how to treat each other, communicate, love each other. When we're getting mad, we don't have to be nasty. But guess what? Our mama was nasty. She was rah, 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 and then turn around. Our daddy was whoo, 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 whoo. So we're taking this and we running with it.
Right.
Who in the house was not yelling, sis?
All of us was yelling.
Who? Who was like, let's talk as a family. Sit down. 5 o'clock. It's family time. Are you okay today? Like, who? We
So do you
need
feel
that.
like
No, but that's true because
I would definitely do that on everything.
No, because that's
on
true
everything.
yeah, I have a yelling issue,
Mm-hmm.
but I work
You
on it.
get that from our mom.
Right, I do. And Tanya would yell, and I'm like, why are you yelling? And he's like, I'm not yelling.
He get it from you.
So I definitely understand
She said I don't display negative activities in front of the kids because that's not true. If I can't be a positive role model for the kids, whether or not you a child's life because you have to have positive vibes when dealing with children.
That's
exactly.
true.
Darnita said yes. That's why we have communication issues. We are told not to feel.
That
Oh,
part.
Darnita speaking to him.
it. Yes.
Darnita, speak to
true.
him, honey. Speak to him because we couldn't talk. We couldn't do nothing.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this third question tonight.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
All right. So thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to get into it.
Last
the third
question of the night.
is: have you experienced sex, abuse, bullying, or molestation growing up? And what advice do you send to parents around the world?
So I'll start this first because I'll be really quick. As far as sex, I was not put out to that. I was not shown that. My parents was very closed in.
Yeah.
They kept those things away from us and those type of people and kids. So I was not exposed to sex. Abuse, I definitely endured some abuse because as I got older, I realized the things that I was getting in trouble for and getting punished for was definitely abuse. So I definitely experienced some abuse. Molestation, no, thank goodness. I didn't have to worry about, like, I guess because our parents kept us so
sheltered,
close
yeah.
in, and it's definitely reasons why I think my parents did that because
No,
they
definitely.
knew. Yeah,
Right.
it's definitely. But we were not allowed to like stay over friends' houses or go certain places. Like they were very strict with that. And I'm actually thankful that they were because who knows? You know what I'm saying? It's so much going on. So as far as sex, I wasn't exposed to that. Abuse, I definitely endured some abuse. And molestation, I didn't have to experience that, thank goodness. And to the ones who did, I'm definitely, sending my love and support and strength. And I also feel like the people who have had to endure that, don't be embarrassed. Tell your story, tell your testimony so you can help young kids, look out for the things that you went through or the signs. Also, if you've been abused, don't keep that abuse going, please. Stop. Break the cycle. We don't need to keep abusing each other mentally, physically, verbally, emotionally. Just stop. Okay, I'm crying. I'm begging. We gotta stop. No, because it's bad.
We
like
have to
it's
stop.
really bad. Honestly, I think I get abused, verbally abused, like literally every day, y'all. Every day, and I'm like, you're threatening me. Why? Like that's not. It's not normal. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, people look at abuse as physical only. Like, stop. If you're on this live, stop abusing people, okay?
Physically, mentally, emotionally,
verbally, stop. Just stop. So, oh my God.
I'm a good head.
Okay.
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes.
Okay. So the last question tonight is, have you experienced sex, abuse, bullying, or molestation growing up? And what advice do you send to parents around the world?
First of all, the advice that I would give to parents around the world is always love on your child, show them love emotionally, hug them, kiss them, tell them how smart they are, how handsome, how beautiful, how they are leaders. They don't have to follow anyone. Tell them all those things because it's very, very important because they are impacted by so much around them that we don't see every day. Kids are raised different, so they're bringing a lot of different things that your kids are being witnessed to or being exposed to. So make sure that you give them that encouragement as much as possible. Even if they're like, oh, mama or daddy, I don't want to hear that. Just keep giving it to them. That way, when they are, for example, coming up against bullying, they're not, taking it to heart and, oh, I want to kill myself now. No disrespect for anyone that has went through that.
Yes,
but when they have gone through that, now they don't want to be here or things of that nature. Make sure that you love on them as much as possible and let them know that you're here for them.
Yes, Miss A.L. But I have something to say. Okay, thank you. I just want to cut in
Whoa.
because I want to get this out before she keep going. I just want to say, I know I was talking about what I had experienced. But what I do want to say is I'll just stop. Let's stop the abuse. Let's stop any type of abuse. And what I'm not talking about just physical, like I said. Let's please stop abusing each other. It's not good. It's not safe. Let's protect our youth. Like if you're watching this live, you should be talking to your kids after this live tomorrow, your nieces and nephews. Let's protect our youth, y'all. That's how I feel. Let's protect each other. Let's love on them. Like she said, tell them how pretty they are, how handsome they are, how much they matter. You need them, like that's important.
But to finish it off, no, like she said, we were pretty much sheltered and protected, so I wasn't introduced to any molestation or anything of that nature. Bullying in elementary, I've had some mean girls say some things to me as a young child during those times. You do feel like some kind of way, but again, I had loving parents, family, and etc. that uplifted me and made me feel comfortable, whatever the case may be. So, that did bother me. And just let kids, and when you tell your kids, just trust me. The people that bullied you when you was young, they probably gonna be, no offense, on crack when they get older. So I'm just saying. Or out there.
I was about to say, that's not really a big thing in today's generation.
Right.
It's the
it's other drugs. But they gonna be.
But I do want to say something real quick before Shania speaks. If you are in the comments and you have experienced, abuse, molestation, rape, bullying, just speak on your story. We want everybody to be to be able to speak freely, judgment-free zone. We put it out here for y'all. We tell our truth. We have no issue with it. That's what Raw is for. We very uncut, and we love y'all. And I'm gonna let Shania end it with her answer.
So the third question, the last question was, have you experienced sex, abuse, bullying, or molestation growing up? And what advice do you send to parents around the world? So I'm gonna say this. All of that usually happens, all things I listed, very subtly, how do you say it? I'm sorry. Like usually very quickly,
Right.
and it's usually under the radar.
Right.
So, we've all talked about, making sure that you pay attention to your kids, listen to them. But I would also like to say pay attention to those that are around them.
Right.
Because,
yes.
we can teach our kids, our nieces and nephews, our kids, we can teach them, right from wrong, but we can't necessarily teach everyone else right from wrong. And I wanted to touch on, y'all ladies said that, y'all's parents didn't allow you to go to certain places and stuff like that. But a lot of things that are not talked about is the fact that a lot of, family members are abusing or sexually molesting.
And it's happening in the homes.
Right. Or, exposing kids younger and younger to
They
sex.
might flash them in the bathroom or something.
Well,
Right.
the reason why I said molestation and rape is happening also at home, because sometimes it's actually the parents doing it. It's the mom, it's the dad, it's, I don't know, the uncle
The
or something that lives.
yeah.
So I definitely see where Shania's taking it. Shania feels like you have to watch it whether it's outside of the home or not. But I'll let you finish.
Because no one, I honestly don't think I've really heard many parents touch on the inner circle. It's always, watch out for somebody, a random person outside the school.
But it's also the people, like you said, that's close to the family, the parents, the mom and dad,
then
the
they
friends.
not believing the kids.
Yes,
Right.
it's bad. And not believing your child is the worst thing that you can do.
Exactly.
Once you do that, all trust is broken, the relationship is broken. It's too much. Like, take your child's word, investigate it, go from there.
Yeah, don't say
believe
you're a
your
liar.
child, yes.
Don't automatically.
You're
just
lying.
own it.
I don't want to hear it.
Just listen, hear it out. Like she said, investigate it, seek
Yeah.
the truth, and go from there.
But you know what happens, and
I think it's because a lot of parents, look at it like, oh no, they wouldn't do that. I know your little grown ass lying, or no,
Right.
I know
Because
your uncle or your aunt or your grandparents or whoever wouldn't do that.
But why would the
But
child lie
how
on
do you
them?
truly know
Well,
Why would the
what
child
somebody
lie
is
on
capable
them?
I
of
will say
doing
this.
behind or on the low?
I will say this. I have a few things to say. I'm gonna try to keep it
No,
short.
go
but
ahead,
It's
Shania.
really, I will say this. There are some kids that do lie.
They are.
Now, and I'm gonna say this. A lot of the times when they are lying, it's because there's something else transpiring. A lot of the times
Ooh,
they will
yes.
say, someone else did something to them, but it was really someone else.
Right.
Which is, an issue that not a lot of people look into. But I will also say this. If your child tells you something in confidence, one way to really break a bond is by sharing that with someone else.
And telling everybody.
There is no reason why, if your child comes to you and say, this is what happened, why in 10 minutes you're on the phone talking to your sister, your cousin. A little Ray said that some girl touched him today. Why are you telling your child's business? That is the quickest way to break trust. It is the quickest way to not have that bond, and your child will never tell you anything moving forward. All I'm saying is it's very important to pay attention to those that you have your child around. Be very diligent. You can say you trust somebody all day long, but you don't ever truly know a person. And you should never fully 100% trust someone because you don't know that person's mind like they know themselves. Please pay attention. It's very detrimental to the safety of your child. Your friends, pay attention to the friends. It's a lot to pay
Honestly,
attention.
you just need to pay attention, even to the parents. Let's not exclude them. Exclude the mom and dads too. Just because what? Oh no, my child's father don't act like that. Oh no, my child's mother don't act. You, like Shania said, you need to pay attention. Nobody is off limits.
And if somebody tells you something, listen. I mean, put that in the back of your mind and really start paying attention and watching, because I'm telling you, 8 or 9 times out of 10, if that's the case, you're gonna start seeing something. You're gonna hear something. It's gonna click to you. It's just very important to pay attention. You know, it's so many different signs. There's some that are not signs. You know, and I also wanted to speak on being exposed to sex. We know that kids, when they're younger, they start, you know, they start becoming curious with their body. But I would say this, personally, me, I feel like I was exposed to sex very young, but it wouldn't be like you think. It could be, you know, I'm up after I'm supposed to be asleep, and my parents was watching a movie after they thought I was asleep, and I seen something, and it stuck with me.
Right.
And then it's like,
they don't understand that it will stick with you.
And then it was like, okay, well, I know once I go to bed, they're gonna watch a movie, so let me stay up and see what it is. Or it was, you know, back in the day, you could put the back button and go from the TV Disney Channel to the other channel. You know, it's stuff like that that people don't take into account.
Yeah, and a lot of parents like, oh, they not paying attention to this movie. Or, oh, they ain't paying
Close your
attention to my
eyes.
conversation.
Well, I can still hear.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say me personally too.
Don't be in your living room talking about some welcome to others, baby. We ain't watching Johnson's Cabaret with the kids around, alright? It's too much.
The music.
It's too much.
The music.
They like, oh girl, it's just a little ass.
Why are we sexualizing our kids?
So we're gonna get into these comments. I love exactly what you said.
Sorry, y'all.
Anything else?
No, that.
Okay.
I love it.
So Najee said, hey ladies, y'all look beautiful. Hey Naj.
Hey.
Miss D said, I have experienced abuse in different forms from my mom. We do feel for you, Miss D. That is not okay. If y'all could read Naj, Shania,
Najee said, I went through molestation for 10 years as a child. What I will say to black women that have little girls, if you make your daughters or nieces put pants or clothes on before a man comes over, you already know deep down, and you need to keep them away from your kids.
Wow.
That's real. What you just said, Naj.
Let me read that again. If you make your daughters or nieces put pants or clothes on before a man comes over, you already know you need to watch it.
So why are you allowing that person around your child?
And also stop making your kids get dressed in front of all these people. Your kids want their privacy too. Oh,
that's their body.
They don't got nothing. No.
They
want
dressed
their
right
privacy.
here.
Yes, they want their privacy. Let them have their privacy. Let them go get dressed.
Privacy is not a defiant act.
Exactly.
She said, Naj said kids don't know much of sex, period. So them coming out saying something like that, I'm believing my child from jump, period. I'm going to listen and pay close attention to what they're saying. Exactly, Renee. Darnita said to Najee, she wrote a comment. I'll leave that. It's a lot of mothers that are in competition with their kids, especially their daughters, and would allow a lot to happen so that their man can stay there in the home. It's sick. That is very true. A lot of mothers are in competition with their daughters. And honestly, that's just an illness that nobody can help them heal but themselves. That's the illness. It's a sickness. And
don't be saying your daughter.
Just because that man is taking care of the home, paying the bills, whatever, you want to hush your kids up. Hush, be quiet. He paying our bills. He takes care. That's not okay. No. That's not okay. It's not okay.
How about you just get out and pay your own bills?
Mothers, stop thinking little boys don't go through molestation as well. Why don't we talk about that? True. It's not just the little girls.
Why my son.
Every man I've been around was touched by a grown woman, and they need to be held accountable just as much as men. And that is so true. That is so true.
A lot of men, and I've heard a lot of men say that they've lost their virginities or whatever the case may be to an older woman.
No, that's true.
And that's not talked about. I wish we had some men on here to touch on that.
Like,
but
why
are
y'all targeting these younger men?
It's sick. I don't play that. Oh, that's my little boyfriend to a 5-year-old. You're to be watched. Exactly. Don't trust you. I said it here. Facts. Miss D said facts. Or they blame their daughters and call them fast. Or say that their daughters wanted their man. It's terrible.
Very true.
It is. And Miss Renee, if you could read the last one.
Yeah, she said, kids should never see their mom with 6 and 7 different men in their house at any time, because it makes the girls think it's okay for them to have 6 or 7 different men. And I second that.
I'm a clap for that. We all clap it. We all clap it. I'm a speak from experience. Go ahead, Shaq. Take the floor. And this is she's still going. I'm gonna speak on this because I feel like I can speak on this from experience. Seeing my mother have so many different kind of men in and out, whether she realized that I've seen or knew about, it definitely affected me. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I was of age to be talking about sex or having sex, I thought that was normal. I thought having Paul, Richard, Tom, you know, having access to me was the okay thing to go. Because I'm like, my mom did it. Why would I not do that? Like, I thought she was doing something good. But then it took me, you know, getting older and wiser and realizing, like, this is not what I want. This is not good for my body. This is not good for me. This is not good for my name out here. What am I doing? But you're right on that.
Not only that, they also do that, and then they grow up and have all these kids for all these different men because, oh, my mama did. And,
I'm so thankful.
I need this man for this because my mama needs this man for this, or vice versa. And
or you feel like you need a man.
Then you as a mom wonder why your child has all these different baby daddies or fathers, however y'all want to label them, and kids, and they not do well. Hello.
Basically, what we're saying is it starts with us, y'all.
Yeah. And the same with the fathers. It
starts with us.
The same with the dads. Be an example to your boys. You can't say, why my son doing this, why he out here robbing and you know, getting in trouble and doing this and that, when that's all he's seen you do. You
have to set that example, okay? You have to set that example. We know tonight's topic was very deep, very sensitive, but we wanted to speak our truth. We wanted y'all to, you know, be able to be open, not be judged, for it to be a safe space. And we tell our truth, so y'all will feel comfortable telling y'all truth, okay? And if you have went through rape, molestation, abuse, bullying, anything that we touched on tonight, know that you are not alone. One of us on this couch have been through what you have been through, or know someone who has. Nobody is better than the next. We all been through things. It's about healing and growing, okay?
And don't be afraid to tell your kids your experiences.
Oh, see, I ain't even gonna get into that.
I'm so tired of hearing this stuff.
And again, tell them age appropriate, but don't be afraid to tell them, because I think I was just talking to Tony about the mean girls in elementary that said a couple things to me before.
Yeah.
You know, he like, well, mommy, I would have punched him in the face or something, but I'm like, you know, kids are protective of their parents or whatever, but the fact is, don't be afraid to tell them your experiences, because they really
me personally tell them your experiences so they will know what to expect and how to move. If they endure or something comes their way with that experience, they will know how to handle it, y'all. We definitely love y'all. This conversation was definitely past due and definitely needed. We love y'all, and don't forget our inbox is always open. We are here for y'all. We uplift, we show love, we support. Shania, you got anything else? It's the wrong way. Yes. Ain't no other way. Anything else, y'all?
No, we love y'all.
We love y'all, yes. Stay tuned for what's next with Raw, www.kickingitaraw.com. YouTube, Kicking It Raw, and follow us on social media platforms, baby.
Yes, Facebook, TikTok,
Instagram, we're on there.
Yes, we are.
Good night, Darnita. We expected to see you again. We loved you. All right, we love y'all, and as we always say, hashtag Kicking It Raw, hashtag Raw, hashtag Real Authentic Women.
Good night.
Bye.
Until next topic.
Good night, everyone. Love y'all.